Hey y'all, happy Sunday. I hope you're doing well. I'm going to talk today about a topic that I've never talked about ever publicly, and it's the topic of prayer. And the reason why I wanted to talk about prayer, and it's not about religion, but it's more about just your praying and sending energy out to people, is because I've been getting a lot of messages recently, either DMs and or in conversations with people, or I've been seeing in your stories the same sentiment around prayer. People saying, I don't pray much, but, or please say a prayer for so and so, even though I don't, pray much or whatever. And prayer's been an interesting journey for me. I wanted to talk about my journey with prayer, and I wanted to share a story that, I've been a storyteller for professionally for over 20 years, and I've heard a lot of stories, but this one particular story really changed my life forever. And I want to share that with you. And hopefully, my hope is that it'll give you hope and send you some light during these dark times, no matter what you or your family or your circle is going through. Okay. So, the truth is that right now we cannot go anywhere in terms of we can't escape this COVID-19 thing that's going on everywhere in the world. We're touched by it. And it's not like you can buy a plane ticket and leave because there's an outbreak here and you can go somewhere else. We're in this together, and the only way through this is really through it. Okay? So I've been trying to make the most of my time and process this the best way I know how, and through storytelling. So, more than 25 years ago, my father was battling many different illnesses, and he eventually died of stomach cancer about 20 years ago. And I would say that prayer got me through that. And subsequently, I lost 4 family members within that year: my dad, my aunt, my 2 grandmothers. And I've experienced death with people that I love, both friends and family. And prayer has got me through it. And prayer is such an interesting thing because it's one of those things where it's like when you are sending good thoughts somebody's way or you're praying for somebody, there's really no proof right away that it shows up, right? And the truth is that personally, professionally, and spiritually, even the apartment I live in now and the friends that I had and the life that I have, it really was because of something that I desired and I prayed for, or desired from my heart for. And there's a story that really touched me, and I wanted to share it with you. And the story originated from Caroline Myss. I don't know if you guys follow her, but she's amazing. She spells her name Caroline Myss, and Caroline is a medical intuitive. And she said that there is a story. I was taking notes when I was listening to the story, and I re-listened to it again and again because it really always fills me with inspiration and light. So Carolyn says that one day she is a medical intuitive, and she's very popular. You've seen her on Oprah and all over the place. She's had best-selling books, yada, 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 and does a lot of workshops. And she said one day after she was done, I think she was at a convention or done doing a workshop, a driver took her back to her hotel, and she was tired, and the driver was like, I want to tell you my story. And she admits to saying that she had her kind of face pointed out the window, and she was like, didn't really want to listen. Kind of like she didn't want to be bothered by the story because she was tired, understandably so. But she listened to this woman's story, and she said the story changed her life forever too. And it's totally changed my life, what I think about prayer and what I think about and how I think about things. So she says this woman said that she had been in this really terrible car accident. I mean, literally her body was shattered in many different pieces. And there's a big pile up on, I think it was a highway, and she had this outer body experience. The driver, Carolyn's driver, tells her, and she had this near-death experience. So she says that she felt her body float out of the car, and she saw the pile up, and she heard the conversations. Her spirit heard the conversations happening in the cars behind And people were complaining about, oh my gosh, when is the traffic gonna clear up? Why me? How am I gonna get to this thing? Expletives, yada, yada, yada. And the fifth car back, she says, she remembers hearing this woman going into prayer for her. And she tells Carolyn that she saw this beam of light go from that fifth car, the woman's car, over into her body 5 cars ahead of her. Then she says she felt an angel's presence kind of like wrapped around her as this woman's light came into her car, and she was praying. The energy was of the woman was like in the car with her and praying for her. And she says she was sitting in this car. The angel wrapped the energy around the woman's shattered body and said, you know, you have to get back in this body. You have to be brave and get back in this body. And so at that moment, the woman, seeing her body shattered, knew that if she got back in her body, it would be a long recovery. And that's what the angel told her. It sounds wild, but listen up. So at that point, the woman whose body was all mangled said that she remembers the driver's driver's license plate. And she decided to go back in her body. And it took her a long time. She had a long road to recovery. But after she recovered, she somehow tracked down that woman based on her license plate, found her and delivered flowers to her and thanked her for praying for her. And that, to me, if you don't believe in prayer, I don't know how you explain that. But that to me just shows how intimate our thoughts are and how interconnected we are. And Carolyn talks about how there's this internet, I-N-N-E-R, and net, that we, you, me, we, all of us, worldwide, we're experiencing it now as we co-create these experiences that we're having together. It just shows how intimate your thoughts are and the positive energy that you're sending and the prayers that you're sending and how they are beamed out. And there's so much faith that has to go into that. But I just know that, you know, losing 4 family members in a year's time, losing my brother-in-law to suicide, I know that I was showered with so much love and prayers and good thoughts. And I'm lifted by that. So I hope this story has lifted you. I invite you to send a prayer to somebody that needs it. I always ask people, hey, if you need a prayer, if you need me to sit here and send you love, think good thoughts for you, I really believe that stuff works. I'm wondering what kind of prayer experiences you guys have had. This is just one of many different kinds of stories that I've heard and things that I've experienced in my own life with the power of prayer. And I think it's so special when somebody has the generosity and spirit to think good thoughts for you. There's been times in my career where people have said, you know what, I want this for you so bad, like I want it for myself. I'm willing this to happen for you, and I'm praying for you for it to happen. So I'm sending out a prayer that you will be okay. And guess what? No matter what you or I have been through, guess what? We've always been more than okay. So I know that we'll get through this together. And that is my prayer, that you will be well, mind, body, and spirit. Thanks, y'all. Praying for ya.